For years, we put off building a calf house until we figured out what sort of system we wanted to run in terms of calving system. We were probably once upon a time more spread calving, and we're pushing more towards block calving. So a big chunk of our calving's done in September, October. All our replacements are on the ground in September. So from 4 weeks has all the replacements on the ground. So I wanted a calf house solely for replacements. We have 150 cows. Realistically, we only need 30, 35 replacements at most. I wanted to design a house for 50 just to give me leeway. Some years you'll fill it out with 30, some years you'll fill it with 50. I can fire in beef calves if needs be to fill it on out. I wanted a house that would accommodate 50 replacements that were born on a short window of 4 weeks. I wanted them in pens of 10, at the very most 12, just for ease of feeding. I wanted to feed them in a group feeder rather than an automatic calf feeder. Since all the replacements are on the ground in September, I have them all weaned by Christmas. So it's the automatic calf feeder would be a wee bit wasted in my opinion. So I wanted a house that could accommodate pens of 10, that you could hang on a 10-teat feeder and feed them very quickly and easily. The pens probably are a wee bit generous for 10 calves at the start, but I wanted the pens to allow me to keep them in till they're about 6 months old. So feed space and allow them to feed all at the same time. So once you get to about 6 months old, it takes a full 15'9" feed fence to accommodate those 10 calves. The position of the calf house probably isn't the handiest to the calving pens, but we went at the front of the yard on the longitudinal side of the house facing the southwest wind, so it gets the first air coming into the farm and it gets that prevailing southwest wind as well. With a protected open ridge and then double Yorkshire cladding right round the calf house, and then the ventilation tube running as well, just as an extra insurance policy. We went with a green hill sheeting to create a much brighter environment, one for the calf and also for the people working in it. It's a much nicer environment. The straw bedding's cleaned out roughly about 4 months after the first calf comes in, so roughly after Christmas, when the calves are all weaned, all the straw gets pulled out and replaced and the calves go back in again. After that, during the summer, the calf house gets washed out, power washed out and let dry, and then disinfected twice. One with a bacterial disinfectant and then again with a more viral based disinfectant. We have a 9-foot wide tank, so a 10-foot slat, and then in the back it's solid. It's a 1 in 20 fall, so there is really good drainage. It does cut down in bed greatly. The tank is probably overkill. It's not really needed for runoff from calves. Drinkers were positioned at the front of the pen, easy that I can clean them out from standing in the passageway, but also over the tank, so I can clean them out daily without it soaking too much of the bedding. Calves are bedded every other day. My dad will throw the straw over to me and I'll shake it out with a pitchfork rather than coming in with a straw chopper. So they're bedded little and often, to try to get them bedded every other day.
As young calves spend over 80% of their time lying down, it's crucial that bedding is dry and warm for calves. Straw bedding, when provided in good quantities, allows the calf to nestle and to protect themselves from drafts going across the pen floor. We can use nesting scores to evaluate how well calves are bedded. When we can see calves' legs, that shows us that we have a nesting score of 3, and this is what we're aiming for. When calves are lying on top of the bedding and we can see their entire legs, that's a nesting score of 1, and 2 is basically in the middle. Another way of evaluating if the bedding is dry enough is by performing a knee test. Here we kneel in the straw pen for 10 seconds, and if your knee is wet when you're getting up, the bedding is too wet. Air movement at calf level is important to remove gases, odours and other harmful bacteria. Young calves, because they've got quite a high body surface area to body weight ratio and they're not ruminating fully, don't create enough heat to drive a stack effect in the calf house. This leads to challenges when there are periods throughout the winter that we don't have wind-driven ventilation. By installing a positive pressure ventilation tube, this ensures that we have air exchange in the calf house throughout the rearing period, minimising the risk of respiratory disease challenges. Claire is measuring airspeed at calf height. At this level, we want airspeed to be between 0.1 and 0.3 metres per second. This ensures that the calf is not being drafted by airspeed being too high, but also ensures that there will be some level of air movement in the pen where the calf is. Moisture is a challenge in Northern Ireland calf houses because of the climate that we're in. When designing calf houses, it's important that we're able to minimise and reduce humidity where we can. Temperature variability is a challenge for young calves. At birth, the calf's thermoneutral range is between 15 and 25 degrees Celsius. When environmental temperature drops below that, the calf starts to use extra energy to maintain its core body temperature. For every 5-degree drop, the calf will use an additional 35 to 50 grams of powder to keep itself warm. This will reduce feed efficiency.